Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण everyone. So today is Sunday, 10th of September. It is Bhadra Masa, Hrishikesha Masa, Krishna Paksham, and Ekadasi Tithi. So today is fasting for another Ekadasi. So we shall read a few lines from the Ekadasi. So I shall share the screen if any devotee would like. It is a small one. It is very auspicious to hear this one. Can I request any devotee to read about this Ekadasi?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, may I?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Sri Yudhishthir Maharaj said, O Janardana, protector of all living entities, please tell me the name of the Ekadashi that occurs during the dark fortnight of the month of Bhadrapada, August-September. The Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, then replied, O King, hear me attentively. The name of this sin-removing sacred Ekadashi is Aja. Any person who fasts completely on this day and worships Rishikesha, the master of the senses, becomes free from all reactions to his sins. Even one who simply hears about this Ekadashi is freed from his past sins. O King, there is no better day than this in all the earthly and heavenly worlds. This is true without a doubt. There once lived a famous king named Harishchandra, who was the emperor of the world and a person of great truth and integrity. His wife's name was Chandramati, and he had a son named Lohitashva. By the force of destiny, however, Harishchandra lost his great kingdom and sold his wife and son. The pious king himself became a menial servant of a dog eater who who made him guard a crematorium. Yet, even while doing such menial service, he did not forsake his truthfulness and good character. Just as somarasa, even when mixed with some other liquid, does not lose its ability to be to, to bestow immortality. This king passed many years in this condition. The king passed many years in this condition. Then one day he sadly thought, what shall I do? Where shall I go? How can I be delivered from this plight? In this way, he drowned in an ocean of anxiety and sorrow. One day, a great sage happened by, and when the king saw him, he happily thought, Lord Brahma has created Brahmins just to help others. Harishchandra paid his respectful obeisances to the sage, whose name was Gautam Muni. With joined palms, the king stood before Gautam Muni and narrated his pitiful story. Gautama Muni was astonished to hear the king's tale of woe. He thought, how has this mighty king been reduced to collecting clothes from the dead? Gautam Muni became very much compassionate towards Harishchandra and instructed him to the process of fasting for purification. Gautam Muni said, O king, during the dark fortnight of this month of Bhadrapada, there occurs and specially meritorious Ekadashi named Aja, Ananda, which removes all sins. Indeed, this Ekadashi is so auspicious that if you simply fast on that day and perform no other austerity, all your sins will be nullified. By your good fortune, it is coming in just 7 days. So I urge you to fast on this day and remain awake throughout night. If you do so, all the reactions of your past sins will come to an end. O Harishchandra, I have come here because of your past deeds. Now all good fortune to you now all good fortune to you in the future. So saying, the great sages Sri Gautam Muni immediately disappeared for his vision, for their vision. King Harishchandra followed Gautam Muni's instruction concerning fasting on the sacred day of Ajay Ekadashi. O Maharaj Yudhishthir, because the king fasted on that day, the reactions of his previous sins were completely destroyed at once. O lion among kings, just see the influence of this Ekadashi fast. It immediately vanquishes whatever miseries one may be suffering as a result of past karmic sinful activities. Thus, all Harishchandra's miseries were relieved just by the power of this wonderful Ekadashi. He was reunited with his wife and son, who had died but were now revived in the heavenly regions of the Devas, demigods, began be beating on their celestial kettle drums and showering down flowers upon Harishchandra, his queen, and their son. By the blessings of the Ekadashi fast, he regained his kingdom without difficulty. Moreover, when King Harishchandra left the planet, his relatives and all his subjects too went with him to the spiritual world. O Pandava, whoever fasts on Aja Ekadashi is surely freed from all his sins and ascends to the spiritual world. And whoever hears and studies the glories of this Ekadashi achieves the merit gained by performing a horse sacrifice. Hare Krishna. Sorry, Prabhu, some of the words were like joined and I couldn't read continuously with the flow. Sorry.
Thank you, Mataji. So, Anna Ekadasi ki jai.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is about the beautiful Ekadasi. So, we'll move on to next Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Sutta Goswami, so far, he has explained about Pandava's Mahaprasthana, and whoever hears about Pandava's Mahaprasthana, so they will be completely freed from the material attachment. They would attain the devotional service onto the Supreme Personality of Godhead as a Palashruti. And later on, he turned to speak on the Parikshit Maharaj. So after Pandavas, they left to Mahaprasthana. So Parikshit is ruling his kingdom under the instructions of the twice born Brahmanas. And he ruled, and as it was foretold by the astrologers, expert astrologers, he has ruled the kingdom very nicely. Tatah parikshit vidyavati sikshaya mahi mahabhagavataha hisasaha yatahi sutyam abhijata kovidaha samadhishin vipra mahadguna tata. As it was foretold, and Maharaj Parikshit, he ruled his kingdom very nicely under the direction of the Brahmanas. So further, Sutta Goswami, he is saying that after Parikshit Maharaj, he has married to Iravati, who is the daughter of King Uttara. King Uttara is the brother of Uttara, so their names are similar. Abhimanyu's wife is Uttara, and Uttara's brother name is also Uttara king, who are the children of Virata king. When the Pandavas are in incognito, so they have made relationships at the end of their incognito period, they have come to know that it was Arjuna was acting as a Bruhanala. So when Virata king offered his daughter Uttara to Arjuna, then Arjuna did not accept, and he says that Uttara is just like my daughter, so I will take Uttara as my daughter-in-law. And then later on, so Abhimanyu and Uttara got married. Their child is Parikshit, and the Uttara, he has got a daughter, that is Airavati. So now Parikshit married to his uncle's daughter Airavati, and then he has begotten 4 children out of those out of the Airavati's womb, including Janamejaya. Likewise, he has begotten 4 daughters. Likewise, what the Goswami say. We are in the first canto, chapter 16, verse number. Sa uttarasya tanayam upayema iravatim janme jayadin chaturaha tasyam utpadayat sutan. Sa uttarasya tanayam. So sa uttarasya, the son of Uttara, that is Parikshit, upayema iravatim, he married to Iravati. Janmejaya Adin, so headed by Janmejaya. So Janmejaya is the eldest son of Parikshit. Janmejaya Adi Chaturaha, there are 4 children of it. So Chaturaha Tasyam Utpadayat Sutam, and from the Iravati, so he has begot those children. Likewise, as what Goswami is saying, Sa Uttarasya Tanayam Upayema Iravatim Janmejayam Adim Chaturah Tasyam Utpadayat Sutam. So translation for this verse is, King Parikshit married the daughter of King Uttara and begot 4 sons headed by Maharaja Janamejaya. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Then I request any devotees to read the purport.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Maharaja Uttara was the son of Virata and maternal uncle of Maharaja Parikshit. Airavati, being the daughter of Maharaja Uttara, was the cousin sister of Maharaja Parikshit. But cousin brothers and sisters were allowed to get married if they did not belong to the same gotra or family. In the Vedic system of marriage, the importance of gotra or family was stressed. Arjuna also married Subhadra, although she was his maternal cousin sister. Janamejaya, one of the Rajashri kings and the famous son of Maharaja Parikshit. His mother's name was Airavati, or according to some Madravati. Maharaja Janamejaya begot 2 sons of the name Nyatanika and Shankukarna. He celebrated several sacrifices in the Kurukshetra pilgrimage site, and he had 3 younger brothers named Srudashena, Ugrasena, and Bhimasena. Bhimasena II. He invaded Takshashila, Ajanta, and he decided to avenge the unlawful curse upon his great father, Maharaja Parikshit. He performed a great sacrifice called Sarpayajna to kill the race of serpents, including Takshaga, and which had beaten his fathers to death. On request from the many influential demigods and sages, he had to change his decision to kill the race of snakes. But despite stopping the sacrifice, he satisfied everyone concerned in the sacrifice by rewarding them properly. In the ceremony, Mahamuni Vyasadeva also was present, and he personally narrated the history of the battle of Kurukshetra before the king. Later, on the order of Vyasadeva, his disciple Vaishambhayana narrated before the king the subject matter of Mahabharata. He was much affected by his great father's untimely death and was very anxious to see him again. And he expressed his desire before the great sage Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva also fulfilled his desire. His father was present before him, and he worshipped both his father and Vyasadeva with great respect and pomp. Being fully satisfied, he most munificently gave charity to the Brahmanas present at the sacrifice. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So here it is a very beautiful thing. Prabhupada is explaining also about the family relations, about the marriages. So this is generally, if there are brother and sister, their children, they're like a cousin sister, they can get married because if they belong to different gotra. Nowadays, we also see that it is also happening in our family traditions. Many people might have observed. That is one thing. And Arjuna and Parikshit, they followed the same pattern before. And about the Janamejaya, so Janamejaya, we understand that Parikshit, after Parikshit, he was beaten by Takshaka. And Janamejaya, he wanted to perform a sacrifice, Sarpayaga, and to kill all the race of serpents, including Takshaka. It is very beautiful pastime of this one. And yeah, so everything is explained here about Janamejaya. And after seeing his father Parikshit, and he was satisfied. So after satisfying, and then he stopped the sacrifice as well. And also here one more thing is Mahabharata is the first was spoken during that time. And then before that there were bits and pieces. Even Vidura was hearing from the Vyasadeva number of times, but actually it was narrated at the time of Sarpayaga by the after Janamejaya stopped the sacrifice. Vaisampayana, he explains about the greatness of his forefathers. So he explained Mahabharata at that time, Vaisampayana. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, Savuttarasya Tanayam Upayema Iravatim Janamejayam Adi Chatura Tasyam Utpadayat Sutan. Likewise, Parikshit has begotten 4 children, headed by Janamejaya. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall quickly enter.
Just a little remark, because not only same family, even same parents, it was tradition to get married. Even, you know, the 2 children of Akuti was Jagga and Dakshina. They got married. You can find in Canto 4, chapter 1, text number 4 to 6. You can find it. Even same family, same parents, they can get married. Even another example also, you can Canto 4 also another example is there. So even same parents, before it was tradition to get married. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So there are some exceptional situations. It is also under the direction of the Brahmanas. There, the Yajna was get married when the twins were born in the womb of Akuti. So the daughter was given to some other person, and then later on they were brought differently. Then they got married back. These are, and Yajna is the incarnation of Krishna. There are different situations, and also Prutu and Archi, even though they both appear from the body of Vena, they appeared as a couple. And also likewise, Swayambhu and Satirupa, they also appeared as a couple. So there are exceptional situations, but it is not a common. But there are, in the past, there were kings in order to secure the kingdom, the brother and sister got married. There were situations, and it is very, very exceptional situations for a great cause. It is not in the ordinary level of our normal society.
Yeah, it's true, because it was also, I asked also another Maharaj, so I got the answer, because he mentioned actually they are eternally Lakshmi and Narayan. So due to that, they can get married. Even they are coming the same family, even same parents, but actually they are Lakshmi and Narayan in expansion of Lakshmi Narayan. So they are eternally together. Doesn't matter in the same even same parents. So that is they are eternally couple, divine couple. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Okay, so That is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, we shall move on to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today it is letter to Sivananda, September 26, 1969, London. Can I request any other devotee to read this letter? Yes, Mataji, please.
Please accept my blessing. I am so pleased to receive your letter undated. I have already written one letter to Das, and I am insists to receive a reply from him. Anyway, I am so pleased to learn you have found out a very nice place. My suggestion is that you take a first class temple site. Never mind if the rent is little higher. Krishna will give you strength, but try to find out first class place for Krishna and make the throne very nicely as per the sample I have given. Then I shall go. I have given. Then I shall go again and install the deity. The sooner you do it, it is better, because when it will be cold, I must leave Europe. I always remember you for your kind personal service and walking with me on the street. So you are so kind upon me. Krishna will bless you with advanced consciousnesses, and you will be spiritually very happy. Thank you very much. Please offer my blessing to all and let me know about the progress with Zurich, Zur Guthit. I hope this meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So any takeaway points, Mataji, here?
Yeah, just Prabhupada is saying that to look like to get the place for the Krishna with the throne, we need to be nice place. If even the rent is higher, but you have to go to good place for the Krishna. And then he said like Krishna will help afterwards, like to get a good place and whatever extra money. And so then he was just saying that good work is he was about his good work, and and continue do the good work. Yeah, and he spiritual very happy, and said like if you do the Krishna's work, you will be spiritual, will be happy, and the Krishna's work and Sankirtan and everything. And and he just said like it's better to do it before, like in summer, because winter is cold in Europe and it's difficult for him, Prabhupada, to go. Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for kindly explaining in a summary way. Yeah, Prabhupada is encouraging, and whatever we do for Krishna, it needs to be opulent and jubilant, and everything will be arranged, and they all come together in due course of time. But what we need to do is make sure we need to think broadly. So keep everything on very high standards for Krishna, Radha and Krishna. Okay, so that's what Prabhupada might take away from this letter. Any other takeaway points?
Yeah, Prabhupada is giving the emphasis to have the the room, whatever taking rent, because it is become as it will be as a temple, so that even price is little bit higher, but it will be good facilities to have the devotee association. So this is the one thing. So that is a Prabhupada mention is a Krishna will arrange for this thing. Don't think about the the rent. So this is the first thing. And second thing also, he is remembering because it was a lot of lecture, lot of thoughts we are getting now. We are inspired due to who are the accompanying of Prabhupada at that time. So he was with Prabhupada when he was moving out other different place. Prabhupada explained to them different topics, different issues. So it was Prabhupada remember who was his companion for the walking time, morning walking. It was some devotees they helped, and Prabhupada remembered them because they are a nice associate. It was great association who are their fortunate soul actually. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. This is Prabhupada's remembering the help from others. Okay, so beautiful quality of Prabhupada. So we see all 26 qualities, the divine qualities mentioned in Bhagavad Gita in the 16th chapter, 1 to 3 verses. We could see all of them in Prabhupada in different scenarios. Thank you, Prabhuji, for highlighting that. Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. And so next part of our program is the recitation of 15th chapter of first canto. So we are going to recite Sanskrit and English translation. So there are 5 devotees volunteering to recite Sanskrit and English. The first is Jahnu Kanya Mataji, 1 to 10 verses. And if Mataji, if you are ready, the Sanskrit recitation, and if you need anyone to assist on English translation, please kindly let me know. Or if you wanted to read English as well, you can go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
So you want someone for English, Mataji?
I'll do both, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes.
Leave my voice for it. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text 1, chapter 15, text 1. Sutta Vacha Evam Krishna Sakas Krishno Bratra Rajna Vikalpitaha Nana Sankaspadam Rupam Krishna Veshlesha Karsitaha. Text 2. Sokina Shushyadvadana Sarajo Hataprabha Vibhum Tam Ivan Nushmaram Maran Nasankt Note Pratibhastitam. Text 3. Oh, Hare Krishna, sorry, I lost it. No. Text 3. Hare Krishna. Krutshena samstabhishushaha panishnam rijanitrayoho parukshena samunnadha pranayotkantiya kataraha. Text 4. Sakyam maitrim saudidamscha sarathiyadisho samsmaran nirpam agrajam itiyaha baspa gadaya gira. Text 5. Arjuna vacha Vanchito Maharaja Harinam Bajurupina Yena me prahitam tejo devam mishpanam mahat. Yat text 6. Yasyag snena vidyogena lokaya priya darshanaha uktina rahito yasha mritakaha prachiyate rataha. Yat text 7. Yat samsrayad drupadagiham. No, sorry, that's Yat samsrayad drupayagiham upagatanam rajnam swayam varamukh smaradukam durmadanam tejo hirdam kalo mayad yad mayad yabhiyatascha sajikritena danu sadhi gata cha Krishna. Text 8. Yadsanya dvabham ukandavam agnayedam idracha samaraganam tarasa vijitya labdha sabha maya kritadbhuta silpamaya digbhyo haran nirpato balim advarit varete. Text 9. Yatejas nirpasido nigririm aham makaratam aryo nujanta barjaga yuta sattva viraha tenarida pramata natamak hayabupa yanmuchitastad anayan balimadhavarite Patnyastavadi Makapkalpatmaha Kalpta Maha Kalpa Maha Visheka Slagista Charu Kaparam Kitavahai Sabhyadim Spritam Vikirya Padayo Pitataru Tashru Mukya. Sorry, Chris. My voice is not allowing very clearly. Sorry. Hare Krishna. Mukhad yastad sriyo krita atesha vimuksha keshaha. Translation. Sutta Goswami said, Arjuna, the celebrated friend of Lord Krishna, was grief-stricken because of his strong feeling of separation from Krishna over and above all Maharaj Yudhishthir's speculative enquiries. Text 2. Due to grief, Arjuna's mouth and lotus-like heart had dried up. Therefore, his body lost all luster. Now, remembering the Supreme Lord, he could hardly utter a word in reply. Text 3. With great difficulty, he checked the tears of grief that smeared his eyes. He was very distressed because Lord Krishna was out of his sight, and he increasingly felt affection for him. Text 4. Remembering Lord Krishna and his well-wishes, benefactions, intimate familiar relations, and his chariot driving, Arjuna, overwhelmed and breathing very heavily, began to speak. Text 5. Arjuna said, O king, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, who treated me exactly like an intimate friend, has left me alone. Thus, my astounding power, which astonished even the demigods, is no longer with me. Text 6. I have just lost him, whose separation for a moment would render all the universes unfavorable and void, like bodies without life. Text 7. Only by his merciful strength was I able to vanquish all the lusty princes assembled at the palace of King Drupada for the selection of the bridegroom. With my bow and arrow, I could pierce the fish target and thereby give the hand of Draupadi. Text 8. Because he was near me, it was possible for me to conquer with great dexterity the powerful king of heaven, Indradeva, along with his demigod associates, and thus enable the fire god to devastate the Kandava forest. And only by his grace was the demon named Maya saved from the blazing Kandava forest. And thus we could build our assembly house of wonderful architectural workmanship, where all the princes assembled during the performance of Rajasuya Yajna and paid you tribute. Text 9. Your respectably younger brother, who possesses the strength of 10,000 elephants, killed by his grace, Jarasandha, whose feet were worshipped by many kings. These kings had been brought for sacrifice in the Jarasandha's Mahabhaiva Rava Yajna, but they were thus released. Later, they paid tribute to your majesty. Text 10. It was he who only loosened the hair of all the wives of the miscreants, who dared open the cluster of your queen's hair, which had been nicely dressed and sanctified for the great Rajasuya sacrificial ceremony. At this time, she fell down at the feet of Lord Krishna with tears in her eyes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Can I request Radha Sevika Mataji next? Mataji, you need some assistance for English?
I'll do it like Jannu Kanya Mataji.
Okay, Mataji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yo no jugo pavana etya duranta kricharat durvasa soare trachitad ayutagra bhugraha shakana shishtam upayujya yatastrilokim triptam amamsta salile vinimagna sangaha. Yatejasata Bhagavan Yudhis Shulapani Vishma Pitasagi Rijo Astram Adanijam me Anye api chaham amuneva Kalevarena Prapto Mahendra Bhavane Mahad Asanadram. Tatraiva me viharato bhujadandayukmam Gandiva lakshanam arati vadhaya devaha sendraha stitayad anubhavitam ajam mudaha tena aham adya mushtita purushena bhumna.
Yad bandhava kurubaladim anantaparam eko rathena tatare aham atirya sattvam prayarthitam bahudhanam jamaya paresham tejaspadhammanim mayam charitam shirobhayah Yo Bhishmakarna Gurushalya Chamushva Adabharagyan Janya Varyaratha Mandala Manditasu Agre Charo Mama Vibhuratha Yuthapanam Ayurmanamsi Chadrisha Saha Oja Arya यद् दोषुमा प्राणिहितं गुरुभीष्मकर्ण नाप्त्रिगर्ता शैल्यस्य निन्द्रावलिकाद्यः अस्त्राणि अमोघा महिमानि निरूपितानि नोपाश्वशुर्निहृतासम् इवाशुराणि So ye vrata kumatinatmada ishvaro me yat pada padmam abhavaya bhajanti bhavyaha mam shrantavaham aryo rathino bhuvi staham na praharan yad anubhava nirastachitaha नर्माणि उदार रुचिरास्मिता शोभितानि हे पार्थ हे अर्जुना सखे कुरु नन्दनेति सञ्जल्पितानि नरदेव हृदे स्प्रसानि स्मर्तुर्लुतानि हृदयं मम मधवस्य श्रेयाः सनातना विकथान भोजनादिष्व यद्वयस्य ऋतवान् इति विप्रलब्धः सख्युसखेवा पृथ्वतानस्य सर्वं तेहे महान् महिताय कुमार्ते अगम्ये So aham nipendra rahita purushotamane sakya priyane suhrida hridayena sunya advani urukrama parigraham angaharakshan gopir asadbir baleva vinirjitosmi. Okay. During our exile, Durvasa Muni, who eats with his 10,000 disciples, intrigued with our enemies to put us in dangerous trouble. At that time, he, Lord Krishna, simply by accepting the remnants of food, saved us. By his accepting food thus, the assembly of Munis, while bathing in the river, felt scrumptiously fed, and all the three worlds were also satisfied. It was by his influence only that in a fight I was able to astonish the personality of God, Lord Shiva, and his wife, the daughter of the Mount Himalaya. Thus he, Lord Shiva, became pleased with me and awarded me his own weapon. Other demigods also delivered their respective weapons to me, and in addition, I was able to reach the heavenly planets in this present body and was allowed a half elevated seat. When I stayed for some days as a guest in the heavenly planets, all the heavenly demigods, including King Indradeva, took shelter of my arms, which were marked with the Gandiva bow, to kill the demon named Nivadakarvacha. O king, descendant of Ajamitha, at the present moment I am bereft of the personality of Godhead, by whose influence I was so powerful. The military strength of the Kauravas was like an ocean in which there dwelled many invincible existences, and thus it was insurmountable. But because of his friendship, I, seated on the chariot, was able to cross over it, and only by his grace was I able to regain the cows and also collect by force many helmets of the kings, which were bedecked with jewels that were sources of all brilliance. It was he only who withdrew the duration of life from everyone, and who in the battlefield withdrew the speculative power and strength of enthusiasm from the great military phalanx made by the Kauravas, headed by Bhishma, Karna, Drona, Salya, etc. The arrangement was expert and more than adequate, but he, Lord Shri Krishna, while going forward, did all this. Great generals like Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Bhurishrava, Sushrama, Salya, Jayadratha, and Bahilka all directed their invincible weapons against me, but by his, Lord Krishna's grace, they could not even touch a hair on my head. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj, the supreme devotee of Lord Narasimhadev, was unaffected by the weapons the demons used against him. It was by his mercy only that my enemies neglected to kill me when I descended from the chariot to get water for my thirsty horses. And it was due to my lack of esteem for my Lord that I dared engage him in my chariot as my chariot driver. For he is worshipped and offered services by the best men to attain salvation. O king, his jokings and frank talks were pleasing and beautifully decorated with smiles. His addresses unto me as, O son of Britha, O friend, O son of the Guru dynasty, and all such heartiness are now remembered by me, and thus I am overwhelmed. Generally, both of us used to live together and sleep, sit, and loiter together, and at the time of advertising oneself for the acts of chivalry, sometimes if there were any irregularities, I used to reapproach him by saying, my friend, you are very truthful, even in those hours when his value was minimized. He, being the supreme soul, used to tolerate all those utterings of mine, excusing me exactly as a true friend excuses his true friend, or a father excuses his son. O Emperor, now I am separated from my friend and dear most well-wisher, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore my heart appears to be void of everything. In his absence, I have been defeated by a number of infidel cowherd men while I was guarding the bodies of the wives of Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So beautifully recited. Okay, so next devotee, can I request Smriti Kanna Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
You want someone to assist in English, Mataji?
It's okay, or I can follow like Mataji's also.
Yeah, sure. No.
First only text, sloka, then text, is it?
Yes, Mother, however you feel comfortable, yeah.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tadvoi dhanostoi shabasarath hayaste. Sohom rothim nipototaya jato anamanti sarvang shanena tadbhut tudbhutas disha shakti sariktam bhasman bhasman hutam kuhokoradam ibo Tam Usham Rajan Tayam Prishtanam Suridam No Surit Pure Vipro Shapo Vimuranam Nignatam Mushti Mitho Varunim Madiram Pita Modot Mothi Itho Chetosam Ajanatam Ibo Anonam Chatur Pancham Obosishata Praye Noitot Bhagavat Ishara Shrabi Vichestitam Mitho Nighanti Bhutani Bhavayanti Jat Mitho Jalo Kalasam Jale Jatvat Mahanta Adanti Aniyasha Durbalam Bolin Rajan Mahanto Bolin Mitha Ebam Bolishte Jodhuvi Mahodvi Itoran Anonam Bhuvaram Sanjoharo Desho Kalartho Juktani Rita Posho Posami Cha Haranti Smaratam Chittam Govindam Abhihitani Me এবং চিন্তয়ত সুত উবাচ এবং চিন্তয়তে জিষ্ণু কৃষ্ণ পাদ সরোহম সৌদার্যেদনাতি গারেণি শান্তা বিমলামতিশ বাসুদেব অগ্রিম অনুধান পরিবৃহিত রংহসা ভক্তামিথি নিমিথিত শেষ কষায় ধিয়ন অর্জুনা গীতম ভগবতা জ্ঞানম যত্তৎ সংগ্রাম মূর্ধনি কালো কর্ম পুনরুদ্ধগম প্রভু Hare Krishna. The translation. So, I have the very same Gandhiva bow, the same arrows, the same chariot drawn by the same horses, and I use them as the same Arjuna to whom all the kings offer their due respects. But in the absence of Lord Krishna, all of them at the moment's notice have become null and void. It is exactly like offering clarified butter on ashes, accumulating money with a magic wand and sowing seeds on barren land. Text 22-23. O King, since you have asked me about our friends and relatives in the city of Dwarka, I will inform you that all of them were cursed by the Brahmanas, and as a result, they all became intoxicated with wine made of putrefied rice and fought among themselves with sticks, not even recognizing one another. Now all but 4 or 5 of them are dead and gone. Finally, factually, this is all due to the supreme will of the Lord, the personality of Godhead. Sometimes people kill one another, and at other times they protect one another. O King, as in the ocean, the bigger and stronger aquatics swallow up the smaller and weaker ones, so also the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to lighten the burden of the earth, has engaged the stronger Yadu to kill the weaker, and the bigger Yadu to kill the smaller. Now I am attracted to those instructions imparted to me by the personality of Godhead, Govinda, because they are impregnant with instructions for relieving the burning heart in all circumstances of time and space. Shuta Goswami said, thus, being deeply absorbed in thinking of the instructions of the Lord, which were imparted in the great intimacy of friendship, and in thinking of his lotus feet, Arjuna's mind became pacified and free from all material contamination. Arjuna's constant remembrance of the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna rapidly increased his devotion, and as a result, all the trash in his thoughts subsided. Because of the Lord's pastimes and activities, and because of his absence, it appeared that Arjuna forgot the instructions laid by the personality of Godhead. But factually, this was not the case, and again he became Lord of his senses. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So beautifully recited. Thank you.
Thank you, Hari Bol.
Okay, so next devotee, Sharanya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
You want to go the same pattern, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, I can read. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vishoko Brahma Sambhathya Sanjinadvaita Samshayaha Lina Prakriti Nairgunyat Alingatvat Asambhavaha. Prabhu, can I read the translation as well?
Yes, Mataji.
Translation. Because of his possessing spiritual assets, the doubts of duality were completely cut off. Thus, he was freed from the three modes of material nature and placed in transcendence. There was no longer any chance of his becoming entangled in birth and death, for he was freed from the material form. Nishamya Bhagavan Margam Samstam Yadu Kulasya Cha Swapadhaya Madim Chakre Nibhartatma Yudhishthiraha. Upon hearing of Lord Krishna's returning to his abode, and upon understanding the end of the Yadus dynasty's earthly manifestations, Maharaja Yudhishthira decided to go back to home, back to Godhead. Pradapi Anusrutya Dhananjayodidam Nasham Yadunam Bhagavad Gadinchatam Ekanta Bhaktya Bhagavanti Adokshaje Niveshidatmo Paramama Samsrade. Kunti, after overhearing Arjuna's telling of the end of the Yadu dynasty and disappearance of Lord Krishna, engaged in the devotional service of the transcendental personality of Godhead with full attention and thus gained release from the course of material existence. Yayaharad bhuvo bharam tathanum vijaha aja kandakam kandake keneva dvayam chabisidu samam. The Supreme Unborn, Lord Sri Krishna, goes to the members of the Yadu dynasty to relinquish their bodies, and thus he relieved the burden of the world. This action was like picking out a thorn with a thorn, though both are the same to the controller. Yada matsyadi rupani dade jahyad yada nadaha bhubhara kshabido yena jaho tadja kalevaram. The Supreme Lord relinquished the body which he manifested to diminish the burden of the earth. Just like a magician, he relinquishes one body to accept different ones like the fish incarnations and others. Yada Mugundo Bhagavan imam mahim jaho swa tanva sravanniya tatkadaha tadahar eva pradi buddha chedasam ahadra hetu kalir anvavartada. When the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, left this earthly planet in his self-same form, from that very day, Kali, who had already partially appeared, became fully manifest to create inauspicious condition for those who are endowed with the poor fund of knowledge. Yudhishthirastat parisarpanam buddhaha pure cha rastre che grihe tadatmani vibhavya loba narta jihma himsanadi adharma chakram gamanaya paryadat. Maharaja Yudhishthira was intelligent enough to understand the influence of the age of Kali, characterized by increasing avarice, falsehood, cheating, and violence throughout the capital, state, home, and among individuals. So he wisely prepared himself to leave home, and he dressed accordingly. Swarat pautram vinayinam atmana sushamam gunaihi toya nivya padimbumer abhyasinchat gajahyavaye. Thereafter, in the capital of Hastinapura, he enthroned his grandson, who was trained and equally qualified as the emperor and master of all land bordered by the seas. Madhujyam tada vajram surashenapadi tada prajapatyam nirupestim agnin abhibhat ishvaraha. Then he posted Vajra, the son of Aniruddha, grandson of Lord Krishna, at Mathura as the king of Surasena. Afterwards, Maharaja Yudhishthira performed a Prajapatya sacrifice and replaced in himself the fire for quitting household life. Visrajya tatra tat sarvam duklavalayadigan nirmamo nirahangaraha sanjinnashesha bandhanaha. Maharaja Yudhishthira at once relinquished all his garments, bells, and ornaments of the royal order and became completely disinterested and unattached to everything. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Please recited. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so next devotee from 41 verse, Santika Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare.
Om Namo. Sorry, Prabhu.
How you want to go, Mataji?
I'll just, do like follow Saranya Mataji like that.
Okay, Mataji. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vacham juhava manasi tat prana itare chatam mrityeva apanam sotsargam tat panchvate hya aho ajohavet. Then he amalgamated all the sense organs into the mind, then the mind into life, life into breathing, his total existence into the embodiment of the 5 elements, and his body into death. Then, as pure self, he became free from the material conception of life. Tritve hutva cha panchatvam तच्चैकत्वे जुहमुनिः सर्वम् आत्मानि अजुहवेद ब्राह्मणि आत्मानम् अव्यये. Thus annihilating the gross body of 5 elements into the 3 qualitative modes of material nature, he merged them in one nascence and then absorbed that nascence in the self, Brahman, which is inexhaustible in all circumstances. Chiravasa niraharo baddhavan mukta murdhajaha drishyayan atmano rupam jado matta pisachavad anavekshamano niragad shinavan badhiro yatha. After that, Maharaj Yudhishthira dressed himself in torn clothing, gave up eating all solid foods, voluntarily became dumb, and let his hair hang loose. All this combined to make him look like an urchin or madman with no occupation. He did not depend on his brothers for anything, and just like a deaf man, he had nothing. Udicim praviveshasham gatapurva mahatmabhihi hridi brahma param dhyayan navartate yato gataha. Then he started towards the north, treading the path accepted by his forefathers and great men, to devote himself completely to the thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he lived in that way wherever he went. Sarve tam anu nirjagmur bhrattah karta nishchaya kalina dharmo mitrena drishtva sprishta prajabhuvi. The younger brothers of Maharaj Yudhishthir observed the age of Kali had already arrived throughout the world, and the citizens of the kingdom were already affected by irreligious practice. Therefore, they decided to follow the footsteps of their elder brother. Te sadhu kritta sarvatha ज्ञात्वा तयन्तिकम् आत्मनः मनसा धारयम् आसुरा वैकुण्ठचरणाम्बुजम्. They all had performed all the principles of religion, and as a result rightly decided that the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, Sri Krishna, are the supreme goal of all. Therefore they meditated upon his feet without interruption. तद्ध्यानोद्रिक्तया भक्त्या विशुद्धधीशणपरे तस्मिन् नारायण पदे एकान्तमतयो गतिम् अवपुर दूरवापं ते असाध्भिर्विषयात्मभिः विधूतकालमासस्थानं विराजेनात्मनैव हि. Thus, by pure consciousness, due to constant devotional remembrance, they attain the spiritual sky, which is ruled over by the Supreme Narayan, Lord Krishna. This is attained only by those who meditate upon one Supreme Lord without deviation. This abode of Lord Sri Krishna, known as Golok Vrindavan, cannot be attained by persons who are absorbed in material conceptions of life. But the Pandavas, being completely washed off all material contamination, attained that abode in their very same bodies. Viduropi parityaja prabhase deham atmanah Krishna veshena tatchitta pritibhiha swasakshayam yayo. Vidura, while on pilgrimage, left his body at Prabhasa. Because he was absorbed in the thought of Krishna, he was received by the denizens of the Pitraloka planet, where he returned to his original post. Draupadi cha tadagyay patinam anapekshatam vasudeva bhagavati ya ekantamatir apatam. Draupadi also saw her husbands without caring for her. While leaving home, she knew well about Lord Vasudeva Krishna, the personality of Godhead. Both she and Subhadra became absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna and attained the same results as their husbands. यह श्रद्धयैतद् भगवत् प्रियाणां पाण्डव सुतानामिति सम्प्रयाणम् Shinotylam swasasthayanam pavitram labdha harau bhaktim upaiti siddhim. The subject of the departure of the sons of Pandu for the ultimate goal of life, back to Godhead, is fully auspicious and is perfectly pure. Therefore, anyone who hears this narration with devotional faith certainly gains the devotional service of the Lord, the highest perfection of life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So beautifully recited. Mataji, so you think perfectly completed 15th chapter, first canto. Thank you so much. Any other comments, dear devotees, before we conclude our session and continue with further japa? Or you wanted to update anything else? Any events or anything on Krishna consciousness you wanted to share?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, it was another very fulfilling day of service in the temple, serving devotees in Janmashtami. And we met Dina Mataji and her family. She came to the book counter, book table for the children and got so many books and devotional toys like mridangam and flute and all for her children. We met the whole family. It was so nice. And Janukana Mataji, what to say about her at her age? Like, she awes us absolutely. We were there, I think we were there till 11, but even at 9, half 9, I think we saw her serving, having prasad. So it was very nice meeting devotees from our Sangha. That's all. Mataji, maybe you can add, like, you have been doing service for so long, and like all throughout the year, whenever, what time we go and we see, we always find you. So that's very inspiring. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So that is dedicated devotees completely. That is the devotion. Dedicated devotees to the Lord. They have offered themselves, their body, mind, activities, and everything.
Absolutely. Like, sometimes when we feel like with family it's tiring and all, and then we see Mataji while we finish, and then say, oh, Mataji can do it, why not us? So it's like very inspiring to see her at so late in the evening and all by herself. So very inspiring to have us to have you within us, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
We are all fortunate to have Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Even another thing, we are cherishing the moment. We are remember this moment day before yesterday about the outfit. It was a long story, many things. But we many people, many devotees, our sangha, we cannot realize how it was become successful. Actually, it was we know they started from Saurabh Prabhu and Sanchita Mataji, but finally it was successful. Highly desire of Sanchita Mataji, how she has requested, how it was finally successful. With her eager prayer, communicating with the right person, right time, right attitude, and it was successful. Now we feel it, how much we are, even little thing we are doing for Radha Gokulananda, we feel in our inner peace, how much satisfaction we can achieve. So actually, we have to understand how Sanchita Mataji did her efforts nicely and to become successful about it. Otherwise, it was not possible. Whatever our way we are thinking, but she from the beginning and at the end, it was become successful. We have to say from our bottom of our heart, we have to say very grateful thanks to Sanchita Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, please, this like hearing this is also, it's like very embarrassing. It's nothing like that. It's like we give all the credit to Saurabh Prabhu for his thoughts, and was terribly missing him, because even in the YouTube video, I was trying to look, he was there in the morning, but it was sad that he wasn't. And even in the evening when we went, I was looking for him, but it was really sad that we didn't see him because, always he inspired us, like from the beginning, that you must take off for Nandotsav, Prabhupada, Vyas Puja. But not to see him was very heartbreaking. It was his idea without his thoughts that we should do this. Though that time he was not very engaged in the group, but then he put on the seed that we should do this, the special offering for this 50th year. So all credit goes to him. We wish we could just, have him for a little while and then thank him, or personally, however. And I was just the instrument. Krishna wanted the outfit from us, the Radha Gokulananda and the other their lordship. So it was of good fortune. But we must never forget that how Smritikanda Mataji made it so successful, because initially Saurabh Prabhu had put a target of 2,000, but later when I came to know the fact that for special outfits for special days, it was 3,000, and we were still short of that amount. And I think it was only 2 weeks left, or so, I don't remember exactly, but she put all her heart and effort to communicate with devotees outside the Sangha, because by that time all the Sangha devotees had already put their Lakshmi donation, but she communicated with her friends and devotees so much, and collecting that 800 pounds extra and even beyond, to have that in a pot, that was not very easy. So all glories to everyone's service and everyone's effort, and especially I just requested, but if we didn't have the Lakshmi, it wouldn't have been successful. So of course Smritikanda Mataji's effort in this is highly commendable. So all glories to all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, it's so, I am so insignificant. You all did very like effort, and so I feel so ashamed that I did not do anything, just Lord Krishna and all devotees. And it's came on my mind that I should, like, I have some friends, so I thought that why I will deprive them. So it's an opportunity. In our material world also, we think that if we can give, like, we feel very satisfaction that if we can give a gift to our friends, and especially sari or Indian clothes. So we feel very happy, and to see them. So we thought that why I will not request them or ask them, if they like come to know about this, maybe they will think that why you didn't inform us. So that's why in that conception, I asked to my friends and other some devotees. So I am very thankful to them also that they participated at the last moment. How much I could, but I don't know. But they are also happy. That is the main thing, that to see on the like to put on Radha Gokulananda's body. So we are so happy and fortunate that they allowed us, and it was all credit, like for everybody's credit. We cannot like compare, uh, we should not compare that my effort or others effort. It's all wishes and desire, our desire are fulfilled. That is the main thing. And of course we always remember Choro Prabhu, and we are really sorry that why I don't know that they are depriving themselves to see the lotus feet of Radha Gokulananda in this auspicious time. So we don't know exactly what happened to him personally. But for me, I think that we are insignificant. Like they should go to the altar, to temple, and they should take the opportunity to see, like to get together with Radha Gokulananda. That is the main thing. Whoever in surrounding, that is not important for me. So they should not deprive themselves in this auspicious time, especially. So anyway, may Lord Radha Gokulananda like bless them. We hope that they will be in good health and good uh, what we can tell, that in peaceful mind. That is the main thing, and they will come back to the lotus feet of Radha Gokulananda. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Actually, it's not. He is a very nice devotee. He is already right fact. But main thing, I have even afterward I have some communication. Even he came to my place. Even several times he may discuss with me. But whatever we understand, he got the somehow someone or some person maybe hurt him. That is the main thing we can actually. And he was thinking, why you are not we are not asking not the right way to him. Maybe something inside something he was maybe some hurt, maybe some devotee accused him some way. Maybe it was not right mode, right way. That is, we have to understand this, because this platform is coming from, actually we have to say from the beginning, from Swarup Prabhu, how he was dedicated. Even he is himself also, his wife also full-time worker, and also they are giving time for this association, and he developed this platform. So we have to always remember him. And second part already is not repetition, and especially this outfit, how it was done. Saurabh Prabhu and Sanchita Mataji both there, and even Purvasha Mataji, she prepared the flyer, how to present to us, and we become inspired. to give donation. Many times they discuss among Sansita Mataji and Saurabh Prabhu. And this is actually a final point. Maybe Lakshmi, it was not right, wisely we are thinking to have, according our discussion, so they think, oh, the Lakshmi will go to hand over to them and they will do. But they don't understand how it will be applied correctly. So only giving the Lakshmi, that's all. It's not, we don't know where the Lakshmi will be utilized. But Sansita Mataji did correct way, proper way. We found this outfit of Radha Gokulananda and lovely mood and lovely color, lovely. It was very romance, very lovely. Then we feel really happy. So it's really also Saurabh Prabhu, and I am repeating, Sansita Mataji, she did correct communication and it was successful, and everyone we become happy. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, and thank you, Mataji. So all the devotees are service personified embodiments. So each one and everyone are dedicated to the Lord. And it is very fortunate to have all your association, Prabhuji. And also we pray for Saurabh Prabhuji. At least, so one thing, a devotee should not leave a devotee's association, even though whatever the calamity comes. So association is very important. But so here we see, unless it is a very great thing, I think there may be a great reason as well. Saurabh Prabhuji was mentioning a different reason for expansion of the Sangha in a wider, broader way. So that is what I understood from Prabhuji. But anyway, so we pray for Prabhuji and family. Hope we would see him on one day here. Okay, so likewise, thank you so much, everyone. Okay, if you're all happy, then we shall conclude our session and continue with
Hare Krishna. Sorry, I couldn't speak. I had a throat, sore throat. I think we should just think well of Prabhu. We don't know. We are assuming that he's missing out on us, or we're missing on him. People move on, and it's good that he's probably doing something so exalted and big. We don't know. So, but we have to just. It's no good assuming. Assumption can make our mind so disrupted. Just think of him well, and he probably has got something. He's not going to sit down and wait for anything to happen. He's going to be doing things. So he's that kind of person. He's a get up and go, and he will. I hope I am not coming in and saying the wrong thing, but it seems that people are concerned that he's missing out on the group, or the group is missing from him. People have to move on somehow, and whatever reason that causes it, it's meant to be. Krishna is directing him in a different place, and so hope that he is doing well. And we have seen him a couple of times, and I think that's good. The meeting him was good, and it was very amicable, and so it's good to just leave it at that. Really, we can't do much about it. That's what I think anyway.
Yeah, yes, Mataji, you are right. And I know already that, in fact, he met us, and before operation, he came to us before and after. That's true. And he liked to express something also. And he even he asked, like to Ratan Prabhu, that you are senior devotee. So, yeah, maybe he was hurt or something. And we are not assuming anything like negative way, just emotionally we are, because with Saurabh Prabhu we are so attached from the beginning, and we are grateful for his effort. That's why we cannot forget him. We miss his association too very much. That's why we are telling. But yeah, certainly he is now giving, like involving with another group.
whatever
and
that
yeah,
is
he is doing good
another
thing.
issue.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hare
uh,
Krishna.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you like
Yes, actually, whatever he is doing, but main thing, he developed this association, this group, this platform. So,
yeah.
personally, yeah, we shared with him, we mentioned that, yeah, he has a lot of commitment and a lot of things. How much because we have to be very careful. We should not do any Vaishnava aparat. That is main thing. Even last time he came, at that time, at my house, it was an association in the Sangha. Many devotees was here in my house. But he came to my place, and whenever he found a lot of people inside, then he go back because he did not. Yeah, he, he did not enter my place, although he has planned to come to meet with me. So yeah, how much he was. Next day he came actually. So, yes, yes. So how much main thing is we understand how much he got some, because we have to main thing we are repeating. Sometimes we are doing, we are treating some others. Maybe we can do some debate, some conflict, something is normal, some normal as a brother, sister. We are discussing in a normal way. Even mother, it's normal. We can discuss many things. Maybe something same way, same, even opposite, even debate, even conflict doesn't matter. But there we should have the right mood and right tone, because some people they think I am the like this, I am so I can do whatever I can do anyone else. So someone I can treat others person whatever I like. So that
Well,
is very
all
very
these
yeah.
lessons that we're learning from these classes, we should use it in our real life and not allow it to divert and treat people differently. And I think sometimes when we're young and we're astray a little, we haven't got Krishna consciousness in us, we will fly our mouth the way we are conditioned to do it, and it's hard to control. But we should take the learning from this group and not say and say anything that could hurt people. We will have to try and control ourselves. But what I'm trying to say is that the teachings teach us also to let go, not to get too attached, detach yourselves from things that you're too dependent on. If in a way, I think maybe we were dependent on him too much. Who knows? And it's time for him to spread his wings. And Krishna showed him the way and showed us the way to try and be independent too. So it could be a lesson that we can take home. But rest assured, he wouldn't be grieving, that he's lost the group, because as you say, he's created something else, which is wonderful. We should be grateful. What we can do, if you like, is all of us do a letter to him, write a letter of how we feel, that we miss him. And I hope that if any one of us has have been offensive in any way, please can he forgive us. Maybe that's what we can do to amend the situation.